So today I'm gonna talk a little bit about dating sober and just my dating in general. I guess I could talk about. I can get a good amount of topics out of it. But I think if you're a guy or if you're thinking about going into sobriety in general, maybe even if you're a woman, you might be asking yourself, is it hard to date sober? And in reality, in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit awkward because, at least for myself, I didn't want to say anything about it. So for a really long time, I was just hoping I would just go on a date and no one would ask anything or say anything. And if they did, I would just say I wasn't drinking. And that would work for a really long time. But eventually, most of the time, when people go on dates, that's where, they'll get a drink in order to unwind or maybe to loosen up a bit. And usually, women are going to start off with a cocktail or a glass of wine and stuff. So I would always order iced tea. So whenever I ordered iced tea, they'd be like, "You don't drink?" I was just like, "No, I'm not drinking. I just I took some time off in January and first it started for 30 days and I wanted to see how long it would go for, and now I'm at, I don't know, X amount of days." I would tell them. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." But I never mentioned I was an alcoholic at first. So I guess I was a little bit shameful of it in the beginning, but honestly, you just say "Nah, I have a problem drinking," and at least if you're around my age, because I'm 32 now, and when I first went sober, I was a little bit before I turned 30. A little bit before I turned 30. I'm 32 now. So most of my adult, or not adult, but most of my 30s I've been sober and dating. And a lot of women that are in that dating range, most of the guys they've dated alcoholics already, and they've dated guys with all sorts of issues at this point. So you're gonna be more anxious and in your head than they are. I found it a lot harder, to find someone that's as accountable and stuff in the same age range than I have having issues with my drinking and whatnot. But a lot of women really enjoy they see it as a plus most of the time, and just being able to stay committed or stay on track with something, they really like that aspect of it. But if you're worried about dating whatsoever, don't be. It's not that hard. I would recommend not dating at first, especially if you're one of those guys that falls in love, because I've seen it a lot. There's these guys that they get super into women and then they break up and then they'll use that as an excuse to drink. So if you know you're one of those guys, don't by any means wait a really long time before you start dating. Usually they recommend you wait at least a year so that you have enough sobriety before you start dating. I didn't follow that. I didn't listen to that aspect of it, but I'm also not I've never been so heartbroken that I was I need a drink over this heartbreak. I wasn't that type of drinker, So I was yeah, I'm not really, and I don't fall in love easily. I think that's one of the hardest things for me, especially dating now, is that a lot of the women that I meet now, they kind of want to move fast. Yeah, and I get it. They're on a clock, and I'm not I don't fall in love quickly at all. I wish I did. It'd probably make things a lot easier. But sometimes I like being around someone, and I want to see if it develops. And sometimes they're trying to rush me into a relationship. And whenever that happens, I'm immediately turned off, and I'm no, this isn't working out for me. So I guess I have I don't know, maybe some type of emotional wall from letting people in. But it's also I haven't had that feeling of falling in love in a really long time. I wish I did. I wish I could fall in love. And I don't know if it's because I'm doing all my dating, most of all my dating on Hinge. Let me make sure I close out that point. Dating sober is not hard. You're going to be more in your head. That's the main point of that. And as far as my dating, I think my dating has been really hard because I've been on Hinge most of the time, and I'm really like, I guess I fed into like that whole thing of what we saw online, where like women were saying like, oh, don't come up to us in the gym, don't come up to us at the grocery store, don't come up to us at the mall. It got to a point where I was just like, well, where the hell do we come up to people? And I really, I hate feeling awkward, and then I hate making other people feel awkward. So I'm like, yeah, if I don't know, like if someone doesn't clearly tell me, hey, I like you, I'm probably not gonna approach them. Like the closest I'll get is shooting my shot through a DM. But even on there, like I shoot my shot once, maybe twice, and then after that I'm like, all right, like there's no reason for me to like continue. But yeah, so I think that's my main reason. It's like I'm going off of like mainly Hinge, and then Hinge, like they'll look one way in a picture, and at least for me, I'm not sure if other guys have experiences, they'll look 100% times like way different in person, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. So I think I just need to get out there a little bit more. Maybe start. That's another thing. Where am I supposed to go? Like bars? I was like, I don't drink. Coffee shops? I was like, I make my espresso at home. Like, so some things like that. It's just like, man, where the heck where am I supposed to go and meet them? I was like, at the gym. I definitely don't want to interrupt someone's workout. And then if I like get rejected, I'm gonna have to move to a whole new gym. That's a whole nother thing. It's like, and then where do I go from Alpha Land? It's like, what am I supposed to do? I guess I'll be forced to go to Equinox at that point. But yeah, I guess that's my dating whole thing that's going on right now. I am like searching. I'm kind of like bound to Hinge because I don't know. I guess it's a lack of confidence, a lack of guts to go speak to like women in person, which is kind of weird because a lot of people think like, oh, you make content, like how are you like not confident enough to talk to people? I was like, well, in this instance, it's like, yeah, like my content gets like distributed to like hundreds of people, but I'm not forced, or one, I don't get like firsthand embarrassment if I'm like rejected in person. If I am like rejected, it's like, it's in the privacy of my own home, right? In my own car, in my own whatever. It's not like face-to-face rejection. So it's a little bit different than making content. For me, making content's way easier. But yeah, I'm about to pick up some food for my dog, so catch y'all later.